win over Diner Barrio in Houston on Red Owl Boxing here on DAZN. Raul, in that fight, I mean, I didn't count officially, but I think Barrio threw about 5 punches in that entire fight, so he's looking for a little bit more resistance here tonight against Sarmiento.
I would think so, you know, especially a kid like Mercado. You know, you gotta not only keep him busy, but you want to, every time he fights, you want to pick up the level of opposition. You want a good test, you know. If he wants to be tested one day and thinks he's ready for the top 140 pounders, it's not going to happen that way. So, you know, we need a better test, and hopefully Sarmiento could give him that test, Corey.
Well, Al, when it comes to blue chip prospects, we've seen them come and go throughout boxing history. Mercado certainly checks the boxes that you want one of those to check. The sparkling amateur record, the gaudy knockout numbers early in his pro career. He seems to fit the bill.
He does, and he has faced a number of former contenders like Hank Lundy, and you mentioned Barrio, and a few others, Jason Velez, and has beat them at a point where they're not at their best still, but he's getting those kind of wins. Now, Sarmiento's was once, he fought back in 2020, he fought Dennis Baranchek, who is now a WBO lightweight champion, won 12 rounds, but he has not fought since. He's been off for a long time. So the question is, how much of Sarmiento, that before was a pretty good fighter, is left?
Yeah, how much is left over 1,617 days that he has not been in professional action. The only man to go the distance with Ernesto Mercado, as he lands a beautiful left hook there a moment ago, is Zolasani and Dungeni, and that is not a stain on anyone's resume. He took Raymond Murataya the distance, took a thrashing from Arnold Barbosa before referee Raul Caez finally stopped it, but that is a durable, durable man.
Well, so far it's been all Tito Mercado, you know, just landing at will, landing power shots, establishing his jab, good body shots. He's having a field day so far with Sarmiento in this first round.
His body shot there from Mercado.
And the more Sarmiento tries to attack, and he has a couple times in this round, Mercado's a very good counter puncher and has scored several big knockouts with counter punches.
And Mercado has talked about being very cognizant of how he wins on the way up. It's one thing to go through the motions, to beat the journeyman, to beat the faded contenders. It's another thing to do it the way that he's been doing it, and that seems very intentional. That right hand straying a little bit low from Tito Mercado. Seconds tick away in the first round that Hector Sarmiento has fought in over 4 years. Round 2 underway. Tito Mercado and Hector Sarmiento, 10-round, 140-pound action. Good 140-pounder still to come later on. Shojajon Ergashev, Michelle Rivera in action on our main broadcast.
You know, Mercado representing Pomona, California, the home of the great Richie Sandoval, bantamweight, who just passed away within the last couple of weeks. A wonderful ambassador for boxing and a great fighter.
Mercado and his father are certainly pillars of the Pomona community as well. They run a really wonderful foundation in Pomona called Gangs to Grace, where they work with at-risk teenagers, and Tito Mercado is in the gym every day working with the kids. And right now he is working on Hector Sarmiento with a nice right hand that breaks through the guard.
Yeah, that's exactly, talking about breaking through the guard, that's what Mercado needs to do with Sarmiento, because Sarmiento sometimes, you know, he covers up pretty well that frame defense, you know, kind of like Winky Wright, Arthur Abraham, and you got to go around the gloves or up the middle to open up that guard. But so far, look, I mean, he's just he's finding the right distance. He's landing big shots.
That is a stiff jab from Tito Mercado that rocks Sarmiento back, and you see the blood that was already starting to flow from the nose of Sarmiento. Just 1 round is all it's taken for Tito Mercado to do that kind of damage as he goes back downstairs with a nice right hand to the body.
Like the way he's maneuvering and just controlling the distance with the jab, with a touching jab, or he just puts the jab out there to set up his combinations, his right hands, his body shots. Very disciplined Mercado so far in this fight.
Mercado hunting for knockout number 15.
Well, Well, it might be coming pretty soon if he keeps touching Sarmiento with those kind of shots. I see Sarmiento's body language already asking for help. You know, he's holding on and he's going into survival mode. I don't know how much. I give him maybe 2 more rounds for it. He's tough, but he can't keep getting that kind of punishment.
Well, that reach advantage certainly coming into play for Mercado. You see the footwork of Mercado. Raul, he can be all the way out of range. His body completely out of punching range, seemingly, but he's still hitting it.
Yeah, he's big for this weight class. He's long, he's tall, he's a power puncher, he's very skillful. It's hard to figure him out. You know, it's going to take a guy that knows how to apply pressure, like by kind of zigzagging in, you know, like kind of like Mike Tyson does, and a lot of feints, and go to the body and stick to him. Good defense. He'll fight those guys down the line.
Big combination there from Mercado, a right hand upstairs. Be tasked with wiping up the water and blood, covering the corner of Hector Sarmiento, courtesy of that knockout power of Tito Mercado as round 3 begins. Mercado, a 2021 Olympic alternate. We have to work in the Olympic tidbits, as we have an Olympian on our broadcast too.
This is that time of year for sure, and we got a
talking
Olympian
about,
sitting right next to us here.
And you
Marquez.
covered me there talking about the Olympics that are in Paris, France now. They had the opening ceremonies yesterday, so it's been 32 years ago that I was in the Olympics. And guess who was covering me, Corey? Al Bernstein.
I was there. Luckily, I was only 12 years old at the time.
Yes.
But yeah, that was a great memory that we share. And you were wonderful in those Olympics.
Solid shots from Mercado, and again, that you know, amateur pedigree. You see it. He's very skillful, very relaxed. He's focused. But, you know, of course, he's fighting a guy that, you know, he's doing whatever he wants at any time he wants to do it. But it's part of growing, building up his record,
and, you know,
going the rounds with a guy that, you know, he tries every now and then. But, you know, Mercado's just, he's a smarter guy. He's got the skills. He's got the goods.
Well, and this has been a pattern throughout Mercado's career. He's making guys like Sarmiento and some of the names, Al, that you mentioned earlier, guys that other fighters around this juncture of Mercado's career would not be having this kind of a night against right now. This is thorough domination.
Right. He's exceeded where others have been before him. And you know, he wants to be. There's that left hook. I'll tell you, Mercado's left hook, when a fighter starts to step in against it, is so effective.
It's a matter of time. I mean, how much longer is Sarmiento's corner going to let him take punishment like that, Corey?
Well, Mercado's trying to force the issue now. Less than a minute left to go here in round 3.
Little swelling under Mercado's left eye. Sarmiento still landing some shots, but not enough.
That's a left uppercut that just snaps the head back of Sarmiento. Looks like Sarmiento's blood landing on the scorecards, which may not be necessary in this one, guys, if it keeps up the way this one is going. And when Tito Mercado gets rolling, he is a dangerous, dangerous puncher. Hard body shot there from Mercado. Just finding a spot for it right along the belt line of Sarmiento.
I think in the next round, Mercado needs to go for the finish. When he hurts him, he needs to jump on him with flurries and just go for it. It's that time now for him.
Wicked body shot there from Mercado. I believe this one will be over. And it is. This one is waved off, so make it 15 knockouts for Tito Mercado. Take a look at that towel.